It is 2 a.m. The house is completely quiet, and suddenly, from the corner of the bedroom, you hear it. Slurp, slurp, slurp. Your dog is obsessively licking, chewing, and biting at their paws. You tell them to stop, they pause for 5 seconds, and then they go right back to chewing until their feet are raw, red, and saliva stained. If you are dealing with this right now, I know exactly how frustrated you are. You have probably spent hundreds, maybe thousands of dollars at the vet. You've tried steroid creams, cone of shames, and expensive allergy pills. And maybe it works for a week, but the second the medication wears off, the chewing comes right back. What if I told you that your dog might not have environmental allergies at all? What if you are treating the completely wrong disease? Hi everyone, I'm Dr. Tony Lee, your neighborhood veterinarian. Constant paw licking is the #1 reason dogs are brought into my clinic. Today, we are going to end the frustration. In this video, I'm going to reveal the real reason your dog won't stop licking their paws. We are going to break down the hidden root cause, why traditional allergy pills fail, and I am going to give you the exact, cheap, at-home cure to fix it permanently. Hit that subscribe button and let's finally bring your dog some relief. Let's start with the big myth, the allergy trap. When a dog comes in with red, itchy paws, the standard veterinary protocol is often to prescribe an immunosuppressant pill like Apoquel or an injection like Cytopoint. Now these drugs are absolute miracles for dogs with severe genetic atopic dermatitis. They literally turn off the itch signal in the brain. But here is the problem. They do not cure the underlying issue. They are just a band-aid. Imagine your car's check engine light turns on. Giving your dog an allergy pill is like putting a piece of black tape over the check engine light. Yes, you can't see the light anymore, the dog stops itching, but the engine is still broken. As soon as the pill wears off, the tape is ripped off, and the itching comes back 10 times worse. If it's not a grass or pollen allergy, what is it? Let's meet the real culprit. I want you to do a weird experiment today. I want you to pick up your dog's paw and smell it. Does it smell like corn chips? Does it smell a little bit like Fritos or old musty cheese? That smell is not just dog smell. That Frito smell is the exact scent of a massive fungal yeast infection. Specifically, a yeast called Malassezia. This is the real reason your dog is licking their paws. Yeast thrives in warm, dark, damp environments. The spaces between your dog's toes are the perfect breeding ground. When yeast overpopulates, it becomes incredibly intensely itchy. It burns, it stings, and it drives the dog absolutely crazy. So what does the dog do? They lick. But dogs have a bacteria-rich, wet tongue. By constantly licking a yeast infection, they are adding heat and moisture to the exact spot the yeast is growing. It becomes a vicious cycle. The yeast makes them lick, and the licking feeds the yeast, making it multiply faster. Eventually, the fur between their toes turns a rusty, saliva-stained brown or pink color. This is why your allergy pills aren't working. An allergy pill turns off the immune system's allergic response, but it does absolutely nothing to kill a living, breathing fungus growing on your dog's skin. In fact, because steroids and allergy pills suppress the immune system, they actually lower your dog's natural defenses, allowing the yeast to grow even stronger and spread to their ears, their armpits, and their belly. Real-world example. An owner brought in a golden doodle who had been on allergy meds for 2 years. The dog's paws were stained dark red, and he constantly shook his head because his ears were full of dark brown, smelly wax. The owner was crying, thinking the dog was allergic to the grass in their backyard. I took a swab of the paw, put it under a microscope, and showed the owner. It was a sea of yeast. The dog wasn't allergic to the yard. The dog had a systemic fungal infection. So if the root cause is yeast, where did the yeast come from? Why does your dog have a fungus growing on their paws, while the dog next door is totally fine? To answer that, we have to look inside their food bowl. Yeast is a living organism, and like all living things, it needs food to survive. Do you know what yeast's absolute favorite food is? Sugar. But wait, you don't feed your dog sugar, right? You feed them premium dry kibble. Here's the veterinary nutrition secret. In order to manufacture dry, crunchy kibble, pet food companies have to use carbohydrates as a binding agent. They use corn, wheat, rice, potatoes, peas, or tapioca. Even grain-free kibbles are loaded with carbs from potatoes and legumes. When your dog eats that high carbohydrate kibble, their body immediately breaks those starches down into massive amounts of glucose, which is sugar. You are unintentionally feeding your dog a high sugar diet every single day. The yeast inside their gut feasts on that sugar, multiplies out of control, and spreads through the bloodstream to the extremities, the ears and the paws. This leads to a condition called leaky gut syndrome. When the gut biome is unbalanced by too many carbs and too much yeast, the lining of the intestines actually becomes inflamed and porous. Microscopic toxins and yeast spores literally leak out of the digestive tract and enter the bloodstream. The dog's immune system panics, causing massive systemic inflammation. The body tries to push the yeast out through the skin, specifically the sweat glands in the paws. This is the aha moment. The itchy paws are not the disease. The itchy paws are just a symptom of a broken, high-sugar, yeast-infected gut. If you just spray a topical anti-itch spray on their foot, you are fighting a losing battle. You cannot cure a leaky gut from the outside. But do not panic. Now that we know the cause and the why, I am going to teach you exactly how to cure it. Curing this issue is a two-step process. First, we need to give your dog immediate, soothing relief from the intense itching and burning on their paws today. We are going to do an incredibly cheap, highly effective paw soak. Yeast cannot survive in an acidic environment, so we are going to change the pH level of your dog's paws. You need to go to the store and buy raw, unfiltered apple cider vinegar, the kind that says "with the mother" on the label. Here's the recipe. In a small tub, a deep Tupperware container, or your bathtub, mix 1 part apple cider vinegar with 2 parts warm water. If your dog's paws are very red and raw, dilute it even further so it doesn't sting. 1 part vinegar to 4 parts water. Stand your dog in this mixture, ensuring the water covers the spaces between their toes, and let them soak for exactly 5 minutes. The acetic acid in the vinegar instantly kills the yeast and fungus living on the skin and washes away the irritating allergens and bacteria. After 5 minutes, take them out, and here is the most critical step. You must dry their paws completely. Use a towel, and if your dog tolerates it, use a hairdryer on the cool setting. Remember, yeast loves moisture. If you leave their paws wet, the yeast will come right back. Do this soak once a day for 7 days. You will be amazed. The Frito smell will vanish, the red inflammation will fade to a normal pale pink, and the obsessive 2 a.m. licking will finally stop. Your dog will finally be able to sleep peacefully. But remember, this only fixes the outside. Now we must cure the inside so it never comes back. Step 2 is the permanent cure. We have to heal the leaky gut and starve the internal yeast. If we don't do this, the paws will just get infected again next month. Rule number 1 of the internal cure: you must starve the yeast. That means we have to cut out the sugar and the heavy carbohydrates. If you are feeding a cheap kibble where the first or second ingredient is corn, wheat, or soy, you need to transition them to a higher quality food. Look for a food where high quality meat is the primary ingredient. If you can afford it, transition your dog to a fresh cooked diet, a raw diet, or a freeze-dried diet. These diets have almost zero starchy carbohydrates, which means the yeast instantly loses its food source and begins to die off. Rule number 2, we have to rebuild the army in the gut. Right now, the bad yeast is winning the war. We need to send in reinforcements. You need to add a high-quality, pet-specific probiotic to their food every single day. But not just any probiotic. You want to look for one that contains a specific, magical ingredient called Saccharomyces boulardii. This is a beneficial, healthy yeast. When you feed it to your dog, it travels to the gut and aggressively crowds out and kills the bad, itchy yeast. It seals up the leaky gut lining and stops the inflammation at the source. You should also look for a supplement that contains digestive enzymes. Enzymes help your dog completely break down their food, so there is no leftover waste for the bad yeast to feed on. By dropping the carbs and adding probiotics and enzymes, you are literally changing your dog's biological terrain. You are making their body an environment where yeast simply cannot survive. It takes about 3 to 4 weeks for the gut to completely heal, but once it does, your dog's immune system will be an impenetrable fortress. I know this was a lot of science, and I know changing diets and doing paw soaks takes time and effort. But think about the alternative. The alternative is watching your best friend suffer in silence, chewing their paws raw, while you spend thousands of dollars on allergy pills that will never cure the root cause. You are the only advocate your dog has. They are relying on you to look past the symptoms and heal them from the inside out. Let's review the battle plan. Step 1, smell the paws. If you smell Fritos, it's yeast. Step 2, start the 5-minute apple cider vinegar soak today to give them immediate relief. Step 3, starve the yeast by upgrading their diet and adding a powerful probiotic to their bowl to heal the leaky gut permanently. You can do this. I promise you, when your dog finally sleeps through the night without chewing their feet, it will be the greatest feeling in the world. Does your dog have Frito feet? Have you been trapped in the allergy pill cycle? Tell me your story in the comments below. I want to help you. If this 30-minute masterclass gave you that aha moment, please hit the like button and subscribe to the channel. Share this video with a friend who has an itchy dog. You might just change their dog's life. I'm Dr. Tony Lee. Thank you for being an amazing pet parent, and I'll see you in the next video.